Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm so excited, but we're going to be reviewing the new Makeup or Murder burner phone palette. This just rolled out, and if you guys don't know, I do love Makeup or Murder collection. I did 2 whole videos on their loose pigments. Guys, they're so freaking beautiful. So I really want to see what their eyeshadow palette is all about. Just rolled out, so you guys want to see what the details are on this, some mysterious cases that happened here in Florida, well then definitely keep watching. I freaking love Makeup or Murder. I think they're so, such a great brand. Like, their loose pigments, like loose shadow pigments, oh my god, I love the looks I did with it. I have 2 videos on it. I did a pastel look and an actual, a neon look. I even have their, holiday one. I should have done during holiday, but I just recently got this, so I did miss out on that one. But I'm so excited because they just rolled out with this new eyeshadow palette called the Burner Phone. So, about the Burner Phone palette. So, it does retail, I believe, for $39. It is currently sold out on the website, but I believe it retails for $39. Oh my god, I didn't know that Makeup or Murder is from Lakeland, Florida. They're an hour away from me. What? That's so freaking cool. Call me. No, that is actually really cool. So, according to the website, it says Burner Phone, dragging you back to the early 2000s with a nostalgic vibe of colors ranging from pastels to neutrals. The Burner Phone is an untraceable eyeshadow palette. She'll need charged right out of the phone case. She arrives practically dead. Beware when looking in the mirror, you're under surveillance. 10:18 p.m. stands for October 2018, the month and year a Makeup or Murder was born. Burner phones are notorious for communicating on the down low, used in various crimes, being that they are hard to trace and can be untraceable, depending on the circumstances. The Makeup or Murder Burner Phone eyeshadow palette is a throwback to the early 2000s standard flip phone, but with a sick twist. Each eyeshadow is pressed with the design of the phone buttons and hearts. The color story is picked specifically to match the era of the late 1990s to the early 2000s, ranging from 12 mattes to 4 shimmers. That is freaking really cool. It does retail for $39, and this is how the palette itself, this is how the box looks. And then when you open it up, I gotta get it open first. This is how it looks. Oof. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. It really, really stinks inside this box. Oh, that's a really strong smell. Oh my god, that's horrible. Okay, don't know what that is, but here we have the palette. So you do see that the battery's running low. You do see the 1018 burner phone, and when you open it up, this is how it looks. That is so freaking cool. So you actually do see the numbers pressed into each shadow right there. Some of them do have hearts. I think that is absolutely fantastic. It does come with a really big size mirror. Hello. But that is so freaking cool. Hello. Oh, she can't come to the phone right now. Why? Because she's dead. That is just so freaking cool. I really do like this concept on here. I really do enjoy Makeup or Murder collection. Like I said, it's just a really, really fun brand. I do love their loose pigments. I did just pick up their holiday collection right here, so you can I'll show you. Not like this matters, but they do have loose pigments right here. This was their holiday collection. I forgot to snag it when it came out, so I did pick it up now, but I do want to play that later on. They're just really, really amazing quality. So I am going to swatch these for you guys, but I do want to preface this and say that I do have some stories to tell you guys today, and this video is always inspired by Bailey Syrian. She is a wonderful YouTuber here where she likes to tell unsolved mysteries, ghost stories, murder cases, and she likes to talk all about it. And this video is always inspired by her. Whenever I tell you guys any unsolved mysteries or murder cases, I'm always inspired by Bailey. So I do want to throw that out there, that I will tell you guys some stories in today's video, but that is where my inspiration comes from. But what's actually really cool is that I'm from Orlando, Florida. Makeup or Murder is from Lakeland, Florida. So I decided to tell stories about unsolved cases that happened here in the state of Florida. So let's go ahead and swatch these colors, and then we're just gonna go ahead and dive straight into an eye look. I swear, I didn't get my first phone until I was 16 or 17, and it was a prepaid T-Mobile phone where you had to pay for your minutes. You didn't get free minutes until after 9 p.m. Do you guys remember those times? Don't call or text until after 9. Do you remember those times? I do. And so I guess you could consider that a burner phone because it was just one of those prepaid phones, but Oh, do they still sell those? Do they still sell those? Okay, so here's how it looks right here. I really do love the theming of this. I think it's so cool. So for the very, very first shade, we have number 1, which is also known as IKR or I Know Right. It took me a minute for one of the, some of these acronyms, I'm not sure. Like the first one I heard SMH, I was like, what shm? I had no idea what to shake my head. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. Okay, so the second one is number 2, otherwise NVM, so never mind. Then we have number 3, which is HMU. HMU, what is HMU? Hit me up. Oh my God, I did not know that. Whoa, true rage coming through right here. Okay, so then we have number 4, but it's not number 4, it's actually a heart. So then we have the next color right here, which is called LMK, so let me know. It's not labeled number 4, it's just a purple heart. Number 4, we have thanks, THX. Number 5, we have LMAO, laughing my ass off. Number 6, we do have what the fuck, WTF. It's just going to be a green square with a green heart, which is going to be ILY, which is I love you. Number 7 is OMG, oh my gosh. Number 8 is free, FR, for real. Is that what that is? Free, simply put, free is an abbreviation for real. Who says for real? For real. free. Never understand. Well, it actually kind of works out because number 9 is STFU, so shut the fuck up. So Allie, shut the fuck up. The next one is going to be this OMW, on my way. Then we have this white one right here, which is going to be TBH, to be honest. Then we have a 0, which is going to be I don't care, IDC. Then we have this like pound sign, which is GTG, gotta go. And the last one is this shimmer shade, which is TTYL, talk to you later. So that's actually really cool. Definitely plays along with the phone theme right here. I really am living for this big mirror back here. It looks super freaking nice, like really, really nice. So these are all the shades right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you guys in. We're just gonna go ahead and start doing an eye look. I'm gonna tell you guys some unsolved mysteries here in Florida. And yeah, I am so excited to play around. I didn't know they were in Lakeland, Florida. Like they're literally an hour away from me. Hi. They never watch my stuff, so that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and get you guys zoomed in. Okay, so I do want to do a pastel look today. I can't believe they're my neighbor. I still can't get over that. Like free. They're my neighbor. That is just freaking insane to me. That is so cool. All right, well, I mean, that's probably why they know a lot about like murder stuff because, you know, Florida, some crazy shit happens in Florida. So I do want to point out that this palette, it does smell like spray paint. It smells like spray paint, and I don't know if maybe that's why the box has a really nasty smell to it. I'm not a fan of the way it smells. You can only smell this if you're doing, I'm doing like sticking your face right up close. But when you first opened up this though, the smell just came out of it. So I'm gonna ignore why it just smells kind of funky. Things happened, you know, it could be sitting in a cardboard box. It is what it is. As long as the product performs and it's eye safe, and that's what I care about. This brand actually is cruelty free, so I do want to let everybody know. So the first shade we're gonna go into is this Laughing My Ass Off, number 5. And we're gonna go ahead and jump into our first story. Though Florida may seem warm and sunny, there are dark sides to this sunshine state. Crimes on this list are sinister and mysterious, and they all have one thing in common. They remain unsolved. There are no easy answers when it comes to these unsolved murders, disappearances, and unidentified victims discovered in the state of Florida. The first thing we have is the freighter Freedom disappearance with 9 people abroad. Lisa Bishop dreamed of being an investigative journalist, which led to the 23-year-old to travel to Haiti in December of 1988 aboard the freighter Freedom. Bishop intended to write a story contrasting the poverty and economic disparity between Haitians and Americans, but she did not arrive at her destination and was never heard from again. Prior to the doomed voyage, Bishop met Florian Mayer Birch, a German living and working in Miami, Florida, who invited Bishop to accompany him on a trip to Tahiti. Borsch was known as a drifter and an irresponsible grifter, and Bishop's family and friends tried to talk her out of making a lifelong trip with him. On December 17, 1988, Bishop ignored the pleas and left Port of Miami aboard the Freedom with Birch and 7 crew members. The Freedom never arrived at its destination in Haiti, and Bishop's relatives contacted authorities when she did not reach out to them on Christmas.
A search by the Coast Guard uncovered no sunken ship or wreckage and no bodies. After many unsuccessful attempts to find information about the Freedom, a salvager claimed he saw the freighter in Georgetown Harbor on Grand Cayman Island. Multiple witnesses on the island swore they saw Birch accompanied by a dark-haired man later identified as an alleged smuggler named Philip. To this day, no one from the Freedom has come forward in questions concerning why Philip chartered the boat for Borge or why they wanted Bishop to join them remained unanswered. Jeannie Sims arrived home on October 22nd of 1966 from a babysitting job and found her mother, father, and 12-year-old sister had been attacked in their Tallahassee home, Florida. Robert, Helen, and young Joy had been bound, shot, and stabbed. The girls' wounds were already fatal, but both parents were still alive when Jeannie found them. Robert died before the ambulance arrived, and Helen passed away later in the hospital while in a coma. Solving the crime was difficult because more than 1,000 people trampled the crime scene during the investigation, destroying evidence and leaving behind trace amounts of their DNA and physical detritus. Authorities only ever named one suspect publicly, Pastor C.A. Roberts, who had an ironclad alibi supported by thousands of fans at a Florida State University football game he attended the night of the murders. Another pair of suspects, a young man and his girlfriend, remained unidentified to the public and free forever. Okay, so this color is not wanting to show up at all. And I know you guys always tell me whenever there's like a pastel shade to put down a white base first. That a white base might really help to enhance the color. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to wipe off this eye and do it over because I'm going to put down a white base to see if that's going to make a difference. I tried putting down the white base from here, and it's a very, very... I hate saying this, but it's like kind of like a lackluster white. So let me go ahead and grab a white from the Sugar Pill company that's a really beautiful, vibrant base, and then we'll be right back. I'm going to set my eye first with the TBH right here to show you what I mean, because it's really, really hard to formulate the perfect white. It really, really is. I've already talked to other makeup companies out there who tried to perfect the perfect white, and even they struggled to get to get it down. So see, I'm like laying down the white all over the lid, and it's just kind of like, it just looks like it's more just setting the base, right? Not really showing up. I'm going to go into Sugar Pills right here. This is in the shade Tico, and it's this beautiful white shade. It's like my go-to white pigment. Okay. Now, I'm going to start to lay this all over the lid. See how that's showing up now? So we're going to lay this all over the lid. We're going to try this again. Now we're going to go back into the shade Laughing My Ash Off. And try this again. I feel like they're two completely different looking yellows. Do you guys see that? This is now more of a pastel yellow. This is more of a neon yellow. Do you guys see the difference between the two? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys my next story, but we're gonna go into the OMW next to see if it like makes a difference. Amy Billig was 17 years old when she disappeared in early March of 1974 while hitchhiking near her neighborhood. Her disappearance led to several dead ends, including a set of 16-year-old twins who claimed responsibility and attempt to receive a $30,000 ransom payout, and a biker who said his gang committed the crime. The biker later admitted on his deathbed that he lied about his biker gang involvement in the Billig's disappearance and murder. A stalker tormented Amy's mother, Sue, with the phone calls shortly after her daughter's disappearance and continued from 1974 until 1995. The calls, which often occurred several times each night, taunted Sue with the declarations that Amy was serving as the caller's sex slave. Authorities later busted U.S. Customs agent Henry John Blair after he used his cell phone to harass Sue. Blair admitted he had no knowledge of Amy's location or fate and became another dead end in locating the missing girl or her body. But authorities recovered Amy's camera from the area near her abduction site, and the developed photographs showed a white van similar to the one Blair drove at the time. Her diary also mentioned running away to South America with the man she referred to as Hank, Blair's nickname. Both Amy's parents died without receiving answers of whatever happened to the little girl. This shade is just not wanting to show up on my face. Like even if I go right here, look, barely goes on my cheek. This shade just has no pigment. Okay, well, let's try the STUF
Let's try the STFU, see if that makes a difference.
Actress Tammy Lynn Leppard began appearing in movies in 1982, including a small part in the 1983 movie Scarface with Al Pacino. But before Leppard took a trip to film the B-movie Spring Break, Leppard's best friend Wing Flanagan noticed a change in her behavior, specifically paranoia and evasiveness. Leppard's mother, Linda Curtis, said her daughter had a meltdown at the home that involved screaming and breaking into windows in the months before she disappeared. Leppard underwent a 72-hour observation in a psychiatric unit, but was not diagnosed with any mental illnesses or drug or alcohol dependency. Her mother also claimed Leppard mentioned being afraid of someone and had a mental breakdown on the set of Scarface. On July 6, 1983, the 18-year-old Leppard left her home with an uncombed hair and traveled with an unidentified male friend in his vehicle. The friend later told police that two had an argument and he left Leppard alone at an Exxon gas station in Cocoa Beach, Florida. Police and Leppard's family suspected a connection to the known serial killer named Christopher Wilder, but no evidence existed to support his involvement. Another serial killer, the vampire rapist John Brenham Cutry, was also a suspect, but investigators lacked evidence as there as well. Curtis maintains that his daughter had known of a drug and money ring in Florida and that her death resulted from that knowledge. As of 2018, Leppard remains missing and the case remains unsolved.
So showing up on this side, this has no white base. This just has just my eye primer and it's showing up on this side. But this side is just not wanting to show up at all. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to try something different. I'm going to take my P. Louise setting base right here, and we're going to try using this palette on one eye, and then I'm going to take their neon, and then I'm going to take their pastel poison neon pigments on the other eye to really show you guys a comparison between the two and why I think these actually might be a better buy and a better, value for you. So let me go ahead and put these on my eyes, and then we're going to go ahead and get this going. It's really disappointing because I don't want to do a comparison, but I actually want this palette to work. It's a really great concept, but for some reason these pastels are just not showing up on my face. I tried just an eye primer, I tried using a white base, and now we're gonna try with a P. Louise base right here. And the best part about these guys is that you literally only need to use what's on the cap. A little goes a long way. Trust me to say, a little goes a long way. These are so powerful in pigment. I love them.
Collier County Sheriff's Corporal Stephen Calkins arrested Philip Santos in October of 2003 and Terrence Williams in January 2004. Santos allegedly got into a minor car accident on his way to work, and Calkins responded, arrested him, and then never booked him, supposedly dropping Santos off at a nearby Circle K store instead. Calkins pulled over Williams for suspecting driving without a license, but claims he dropped the man off the same Circle K. Neither Santos nor Williams arrived at the police station for booking after their interactions with the former sheriff, who was fired after giving contradicting statements during the ensuing investigation. Calkins received notification in October 2018 that Williams' family intended to sue him for wrongful death. Calkins claimed no responsibility for the disappearance of Williams and requested a trial by his jury of peers in a court proceedings. Despite filmmaker and actor Tyler Perry offering a $100,000 reward for information leading to the whereabouts of Williams and Santos, no leads or information surfaced. The two men still remain missing.
Ooh, that is a lot of fallout. But here is what we have for using the pastel neon pigments right here. Very, very beautiful. They're very easy to go on. You do have to play them a little bit and build them up because they are pastels. So they do tend to fade quickly, but they're really, really, really easy to work with, and they blend so beautifully into each other. So this is using the neon pastel one. Now we're going to go into the other eye and do the exact same thing, but we're going to use the palette. So hopefully this works out. Maybe it's just with the product that I was using. I'm not entirely sure, but I still have high hopes. High hopes. The corner, see how dark this one is compared when I use the white base. This is just so much darker. It's a really beautiful yellow. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. But I don't think this is supposed to be considered a pastel yellow. This is definitely supposed to be like a neon yellow, and it's just freaking gorgeous. We're gonna try that shade on my way again, see if it works using a different base. This was not meant to be a comparison video in the slightest, just so you guys know, I was not trying to do a comparison video, and that's just how it's turning out. It's so light in pigment.
Zachary Bernhardt was 8 years old when he disappeared from the apartment he shared with his mother in the early mornings hours of September 11th, 2000. His mother, Leah Hackert, told police she had insomnia and regularly left the young boy alone in the apartment from anywhere from 15 to 2 hours while she went swimming and walked around their neighborhood. When Hackett arrived back at the unlocked home, Zachary had gone without a trace. Police believe Hackett was lying about her version of the events due to the inconsistent times and details she provided, but she never offered new clues or became a suspect. Then, in 2001, a neighbor named Kevin Jalbert confessed to a friend that he was a serial killer who abducted, sexually assaulted, and murdered children. Jalbert's story changed multiple times, and no evidence left at the crime scene connected him to Zachary's disappearance. In September 2001, a Polaroid photo of a young boy found in a parking lot appeared to show Zachary tied up and gagged. Unfortunately, authorities could not obtain positive identification for the photograph, and lack of further information meant another dead end in the case. As of 2018, Zachary remains missing. It's just not what I am looking for. But I mean, it's laying down. It's just definitely getting a little patchy. Now we're gonna go into Hit Me Up and see if we can get this to be a really pretty lay down color. That's a really pretty purple. Oh my God, that's really pretty. Okay, so I'm noticing the blue shade really is just having problems in this palette. The purple shade is not having any problems at all. The yellow shade's not having any problems. It's just these two blue shades are just not wanting to lay down. They're just really having some problems with staying there. Like you can tell right now when I'm trying to blend it into the purple shade, it starts to blend itself away, and start to blend it into the yellow shade, it starts to blend itself away. So that's something that I'm like, ugh, about. But the rest seems to be working okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to repeat the same exact steps underneath my eye as I did the top of the eye for each one. Come back with my full face on, and then we'll give you guys kind of like my first impressions of this palette. And yeah, hopefully you guys like the stories that I told. Definitely this video is not turning out the way I expected it to be. It was not supposed to be a comparison video in the slightest, and somehow it's turning into that. I do apologize. I'm just trying to show you guys like the difference between the two different formulas and why I really do like their loose pigments, like eyeshadow pigments, because I think they're absolutely incredible. And you know, I'm kind of having struggles with the palette. So yeah, I'll be right back, guys. Okay, so I repeated the exact same steps on the top, on the bottom, and I am wearing my Alter Ego More lashes with the ColourPop Water Gel White Liner. So I do want to do my inner corner, and I want to show you guys the difference between the two. So on this eye, we're going to go into the Sugar Pill. This is the White Taco, and I just freaking love this white. It's just so pigmented, and I have to thank Mikey for it because he's the one that got me on it. And I'm just going to plop that right here in this inner corner. It just has a lot of depth and dimension to it, and it's really, really, really easy to blend out. And then on this eye, I'm going to go into this palette. I'm going to use the TBH and lay that down in the inner corner to show you guys what I mean by this palette. So we're going to lay this down. We're going to lay this down. Come on. Okay, so this is the final look. I definitely have some opinions on this palette, and it's not what I expected. So I didn't mean to do like a comparison style video. That was not my intention when I first started this review. But after trying different ways and different techniques to try to get some of these pigments to show, I was like, okay, I love Makeup and Murder. I love their loose pigments. They're so good. So I wanted to show you guys what I'm talking about. So I showed two different comparisons, and they both have their pros and cons. So I'll start off with this side. I really love how this side looks. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. This is exactly what I'm looking for when it comes to like a pastel look. Very gorgeous, very easy to work with. Now the gel area here does blend away a little bit, but it is what it is. Like it is a pastel color, and pastels do tend to blend away, whether I packed a white base on underneath it or not. These two tend to blend away, but they're very, very easy to work with. They're very easy to blend into each other, and I really still love them. And the best part about these is that a little bit goes a long way. These are highly, highly messy. They fall out incredibly much. They fall out like crazy on your face. They get everywhere on your desk, but they do work beautifully. So that's why I really love them, and they go such a long way. It's gonna take me a very, very long time to go through this entire bottle and any other color. Other than that, the rest lay down very, very nicely. They blend it out really beautifully together, and there's just a overall beautiful, beautiful aesthetically looking eye. Now for the Burner Phone palette, I really do love the LMAO color right here. I think it's very bright. It's very vibrant. It's really gorgeous. The HMU, the Hit Me Up shade, again, it's a really beautiful purple. It definitely faded out over time while doing the rest of my makeup. It did fade out just a little bit, but it's still really, really beautiful purple. I definitely will be playing with that a lot, especially that yellow. Those two work beautifully. But these two blue shades right here, I cannot really get to work to save my life. Yes, you can kind of see it on my eye right now, but I struggled hardcore to get these two shades to work. I don't know what else to do. I used two different bases. I used a white base. My only other option to try was a glitter glue to maybe see if that would give it pigment, but overall it just did not have pigment. It just kept blending itself away, and that's something that just like disappointing. But that doesn't mean that this is a shitty palette by any means, because you still have other shades, because I still have other shades in this palette that I have not played with. So before I sit here and say don't get it, like I do want to play around with other shades. Like the shimmers are really, really beautiful. Like truly the shimmers are truly stunning, very beautiful, and they seem to have some pigment to them that you could play around with them and definitely get some beautiful shades off them. So I don't think the whole palette is not good. I just think those two blue shades definitely have some issues with it. I don't know if any of the shade does, so I would definitely want to play around with this. But when comparing the two, this is $39 right here. And for a pack of the pigments, let's see how much these are, for $40.74. Now, I do not have a code with Makeup Murder at all, but I do know that Michaela does. And if you use Michaela's code, you guys can save some coin off your purchase. So looking at the two, honestly, I probably see myself gravitating a little bit more towards the loose pigments over the actual shadow, over the eyeshadow palette, just because I know what I'm getting when it comes to this. I know how these formula works, and they're really beautiful. They last all day. They truly do, and I just really love the formula. So the eyeshadow palette, I'm not disappointed that I have it. I definitely want to play around with all the other shades in here, but it just didn't give me the payoff that I was looking for. So if I had to tell you which one to go get, I kind of recommend getting these instead. Not to mention, you guys can buy these individually. They're $6.79 individually, plus if you use Michaela's code, you guys can save some coin off of that. So maybe if you don't want to get this whole palette, but you do want to pick up some of these shades, go check out the website. They have different versions. They have something like this. They have one that's like a blood drip jar. It's really cool. They have so many different colors. They have the neon set, the pastel set. They also have the holiday set right here. Definitely worth it to me. A little bit goes a long way. You'll have these for a very, very long time. They're super pigmented, have a lot of fallout, but they are incredibly, incredibly worth it. So I'm a little disappointed in how this palette turned out. Not what I was expecting in this review. In the slightest, it's a cool concept, but I definitely need to play around with it more before I can say this is a wonderful palette, you need to go get it. Because as of right now, I am struggling a little bit with this palette to make it work. So I would say maybe let this be your discretion whether you guys want it or not. I'll let that be up to you, but for me, I'm just a little disappointed. So, but I'm gonna keep playing around with other shades, because the shimmer shades look like they have a really nice pigment to it, and the light pinky ones, I did have a trouble swatching those as well, but I don't base anything off of swatches, so that's why I definitely had to play it on the eye. But overall, it is a really, really, really cool concept. I really do love the concept of them having a burner foam palette. I really love the fact that they have the date right here that represents when they started their company. I love the fact that they're literally only an hour away from me. That is so cool. And I definitely really do love this company, and I like what they represent. I love the theming that they come up with, because you guys know I'm a true crime junkie. So I really do love the aesthetics of this brand. I love their loose pigments. So I'm definitely keep playing around with this. Hopefully I end up falling in love with it, and I'll let you guys know. I'll do like an updated video for you guys later on. But yeah, it's not a bad palette. It just doesn't perform the way I want it. So there's that. I always feel bad whenever I'm like saying, oh, it's not the greatest. So, and hopefully I'm gonna let the box air out so it doesn't have that weird smell to it. But yeah, that is it for today's video, guys. Sorry this video was kind of all over the place. I hope you guys enjoy the stories that I told you. Sorry this came out to be like a comparison video, but calling it like I see it. So yeah, guys, if you guys like this video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, because I do post 3 to 4, mostly 5 times a week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channels, R for Life. You guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And a huge, huge, huge thank you to all these beautiful Patreon members that you guys see right here. This would not be possible without each and every single one of you guys. I appreciate and love you all. And to you guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video, for watching this video. Whether you guys like this video, thumbs down this video, subscribe. If you didn't subscribe, unsubscribed, either way. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. And Yeah, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in the very next video. Bye. Calkins pulled over Williams for suspecting driving without a license, but claims he dropped the same man off. Calkins pulled over Williams for suspecting driving without a license. And Bishop's relatives contact. This is exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to like a neon. Volunteers scoured the orange groves in the trees filled near her home and the trees filled house, screaming and breaking into the month. Now this yellow shade right here, it does blend away, but that is